All right,
we're
we made it,
live.
and I scared the cats when I was like, ah.
You startled them a little bit.
Yeah.
Not as much as when you scared Jubilee during the show.
Pretty much. Well, welcome to the show. I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amber.
And we are Untitled Nerd Network, brought to you by Infinity Flux out of Hickson, Tennessee. And we are here to round out the weekend, finish the weekend. Tomorrow's Monday. Boo.
Monday sucks.
We're here, huh?
Monday sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially those Mondays when I have to go back to work too. Anyway,
even more.
This is The Spoiling Dead, number 101.
Yep.
Remember, I see a lot of different stuff. We're going to be talking about The Walking Dead, the newest one, titled The Damned, as you can see there on the bottom of your screen. We're going to just kind of be going over that, giving some thought, taking questions and discussion and all that stuff in the chat.
Legacy token.
Yep. Speaking of the chat, we are giving away 25 legacy tokens for every 10 minutes watched tonight, as well as we got it set up to where you get, if you're a new subscriber, 200 legacy token bonus one time for new subscribers. And not only that, but we are taking entries for our November 2017 Loot Crate drawing. All you have to do is subscribe and then enter at the link in the video description. First line of the video description. So anyway, this episode of The Walking Dead, this review is going to be spoiler filled, hence the name, The Spoiling Dead. So, if you haven't...
Turn it off now if you ain't watched it.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it, or if you live on the West Coast and just so happen to have found us and you haven't watched it yet, leave. But hit that subscribe button first. That'd be awesome.
That'd be wonderful.
So this one was just a bunch of running and shooting, and this was just action-packed to the point where, like, the first 10 minutes of the episode, I really wasn't 100% sure what was going on. Mm-hmm. It was hard for me to tell who was on whose side. Like, I was wondering, I was wondering who to root for there for a little bit.
Because it was like, what? You know?
Yeah, I was like, what the crap? Because, yeah, everybody was pretty well dressed in regular old civilian clothes, and they were running around shooting at each other, and a lot of the people doing the shooting were lesser known names that I wasn't.
They were.
That I was, people that maybe appeared for 30 seconds total up to this point. And that's among all the people.
But, I mean, they gotta get soldiers from somewhere.
Yeah,
So.
but I don't remember the comic book focusing this much on, like, the lesser names and just the shooting and stuff.
Sure, honey, it's the comic book.
It probably wouldn't translate well to still pictures and stuff. You wouldn't be able to see a lot of what was going on. Mm-hmm. But we did. We got to see Shiva this episode in action.
Well, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, we did. Jumped out and ate that man's face.
Here's the thing. The big cliffhanger that we had at the end of last season, or last episode, with Father Gabriel and Negan
was not mentioned at all in this episode.
Was absolutely not even.
Which is really ironic because you mentioned the Glenn episode where we thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Earlier.
That was for the Stranger Things deal.
Yeah. And you may have jinxed us. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You may have jinxed us, and it might be another 2 episodes before we find out what's going on with Negan and Father Gabriel.
It could be. And to be honest, I really don't care that much. Like, that cliffhanger alone. I mean, here's the thing. I want to see Negan every episode.
But you mentioned it. So you care a little.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. But it's nowhere on the level of the whole Glenn thing. Like, I'm not worried about Father Gabriel. I think he's going to get out of this okay.
I hope so.
No.
I think I want to be like, congratulations, you played yourself to
Well,
him.
It was either like at the beginning of the summer or late in the spring. The guy who plays Father Gabriel was actually picked up for DUI in Atlanta. And there was rumor that because of that they may kill off his character and remove him from the show, PR thing. But from what I understand now, I think I haven't really read much about it, but from what I'm seeing, maybe he got turned around and, everything's good now.
Right.
But that's just a little bit behind the scenes stuff. That's something you probably won't hear on The Talking Dead.
Yeah, they probably won't mention that.
Yeah, like, we'll talk about the, the hard hitting behind the scenes arrests and
If that happens again.
yeah. Um, but yeah, so there were a couple of key moments, like 3 or 4 key moments in this episode. Number one, I don't even know how to explain the plot. It was a bunch of people running and shooting, and it was war and battles.
It was them trying to eliminate more saviors.
Yeah.
Is what it boiled down to, and weaken them.
You had
That's
Rick,
what they're doing.
Rick running with Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
You had Morgan, who was with
Jesus and Tara.
Yeah, Jesus and Tara.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had Carol running with
The King.
King Ezekiel, and a bunch of his people. And
That was it, wasn't it?
I mean, it was just battles everywhere. And like, wasn't Rick and Daryl like looking for guns, like more
Yes,
weapons?
they were looking for guns that they had stashed at this place, supposedly. They didn't find any, but I don't think they were done looking.
No, when crap really hit the fan.
Yeah.
First off, they find a baby.
Yes.
Like, Rick kills the guy, and then he goes into like the next room, and it's a nursery with like the baby's name painted on the wall, all these animals everywhere.
Yeah, and the baby's in the bed just hanging out.
Yeah, baby's in the bed asleep, and so Rick kind of has a moment.
Like, holy crap, what have I done?
Yeah.
But I mean, what do you do?
So
Besides, I guess take that baby and raise it as your own at this point. But
Yeah.
before he could do any kind of decision, he ran into someone he knew.
Yeah, and I
before.
can't remember the guy's name.
Morales.
Morales.
He called him Morales.
Yeah. Now.
He said, "You're Morales. You were in Atlanta."
Now, that's one of those things that I've been kind of wondering about over the course of, God, it's been 7, 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
In season 1, okay, now it's a small Walking Dead world.
Obviously, it's the apocalypse.
In season 1, when Rick first pops up with when he first meets his family again, finds out Carl and Lori are still alive with Shane, and then they have Dale, Daryl, Merle, Andrea, Amy, her sister, and that one
Carol,
girl with T-Dog. Wasn't she like T-Dog's sister or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Cousin, maybe. And Carol, her husband. Anyway, it was a pretty solid group.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the lesser focused on characters was Morales. And he was like a Hispanic guy. He had his wife. And I can't remember if he had one kid or two.
I think he just had a daughter, but I'm not real sure.
Can't remember.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's how much they focused on him.
Yeah. And what had happened is whenever they got ready to leave and go to the CDC, they were going to find CDC, and as they left, Morales told Rick, "Hey, this is where me and my family have to say goodbye. This isn't in the cards for us. We're going to go make it." And he's like, "Well, good luck." I think they maybe give him some food and some water and stuff like that. And they were like, "Good luck to you and your family." And that was it. We never saw him again. Until
today.
The end of this episode, when Rick goes up to this, he's like in the same building with the nursery and everything, and he finds a picture, and I guess it's Morales and his family. And about that time, a gun points to his head, and he turns and sees the guy standing there, and he was like, "Holy crap, Morales." But Morales is now a savior. So it's amazing what those 7 years have done to everybody. I also think it's crazy that, Morales and we don't even know if he has a family. I'll go ahead and say, like, chances are, if they made it to the Saviors, Morales' wife is probably Negan's wife now. If she
If she's even
made it.
still alive.
Yeah, if she made it.
I
up
would
that
honestly assume neither his wife or daughter made it, and it was just him, and he thought, why not? It's just him.
True, because if I'm assuming that if his wife would have made it, he probably would have been a little happier to see Rick.
Yeah.
To maybe rescue the wife or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So yeah, he probably doesn't
Absolutely.
even have family at this point. And I don't recall exactly what he looked like to begin with, but it seems like he looks a little rougher now.
He does.
I don't remember detail for detail what exactly he looked like back then.
Well, it's been a minute. You know?
It has, and it's been, like, honest to God, it's been about a year since I've watched the first season. It was like during the, like the original reviews. So, holy crap. But yeah, we had that situation happen. I don't know where Daryl's at. I would assume that they were pretty close together, but there was a gunshot, there was crashing.
I mean, maybe that building was bigger than we thought. And
it had to have been huge. You'd think you'd hear a gunshot,
you would
though.
think so.
Of course, you never know. Maybe, gunfire outside was commonplace and Daryl just overlooked it.
Could be, or who knows what he got into.
That's very true.
So.
We also see Morgan in this episode having a very solid crisis.
Yes, bless his heart.
Okay, first off, Morgan didn't care about killing people. He would shoot whoever, ask questions later.
Yeah.
Then he met up with a dude who taught him the Aikido discipline, and also basically said, hey, we don't kill anybody for any reason. And he lived by that for a couple of seasons. Well, now when he's got with Rick and he's seen all of the horrible things that Negan and his people are capable of,
he's kind of like, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yes.
But at the same time, he's really struggling with it.
So he's gone in and just has decided to kill people. Like, we're gonna kill them. And he's struggling. I think, number one, he's struggling about who to kill and who not to kill. And number two, the guy that he found, the guy that he ran into and was wanting to kill at the very end of this little arc during this episode, I believe was the same guy who killed the young kid. You remember he was the same guy who was always giving dude a hard time. The guy, he ended up eventually dying. The guy who was with the Kingdom.
Yes.
He had like the short, dark hair.
Yes.
And he was the guy that Daryl had the run-in with.
I remember now.
But anyway, like, it was him, Morgan, and then the young kid that Morgan was teaching Aikido to. And they were under the impression, that the dude was going to shoot the older guy, and he ended up shooting the kid. And that was where Morgan
decided, hey,
yeah,
it's time to handle business.
So he runs into this guy who is one of the people who are peacefully surrendering, put their weapons down, hands in the air. And that is at the behest of Jesus, who has talked Tara. Like, he's basically said, hey, these people are going to peacefully surrender.
Right.
She's like, well, when we run into Rick, he'll have other things to say, and we'll end up killing every one of them.
Yep.
And this is a struggle.
With all the characters, really, right now.
But this is also a struggle that is going to really take the spotlight, because in the comic book, it's not really a major talking point up until the very end of this war. Spoiler alert for the comic. I'm not going to give too much away, but at the very end of the comic, in the final issue of the war, Negan and Rick end up in a one-on-one fight, and Negan breaks Rick's leg. And Negan suffers some kind of injury that, if not treated, is going to be fatal. But they only have one doctor. Well, the war's over, and everybody's like, holy crap, kill Negan. Even if he survives this, we're going to publicly execute him and everything. And Rick's like, nope, that's who we were. That's not who we are going forward. And they only have one doctor. The doctor can only do one thing at a time. And he has the doctor save Negan's life instead of fixing his leg. And from then on, Rick has permanent damage to his leg, and he can't get around without a cane. And that is where you see the old man Rick. In the first episode of this season, the cane is propped up on the wall.
Gotcha.
When he wakes up, that he has to have a cane from here on out. Like the running and gunning Rick is pretty well done after this. I don't know if they're going to do that in the show, but they're really hinting around at it.
Yeah.
And he becomes more of the wise old leader, and really only fights when he has to from then on. You know, and there's going to end up being a crap. Like, you think there's a lot of characters now? Holy crap. Like, there are times in the comic book right now where 6 issues will go by and you won't even see, like, some of the main people, because there's literally
so many that are developing.
There's literally Alexandria, Hilltop, Kingdom, and Sanctuary. They're all running together, and then there's like the villains elsewhere, and then you got to focus on the other people who are going on these supply runs or going to meet another new community somewhere, or then you've got Negan to focus. I mean, it's
everywhere.
Yeah. But I think that's probably where The Walking Dead may struggle going forward after All Out War, because I don't know, I feel like the audience is, like I say, a fickle audience. You know, they won't, you remember how much people hated, and even me, I hated, when, we were, like I was saying, you'd have something major happen, and then it'd be 2 or 3 episodes before they got back to it. There's going to be a lot of that if the storytelling dynamic
continues.
Yeah, if they follow the comics in any way. But I mean, this episode was good. It was just, I liken it to like a Michael Bay Transformers movie. It's just a bunch of loud, static noise, bunch of gunfire, bunch of yelling, and there was maybe 15 minutes of this episode that I really was able to focus on. I mean, it had some good parts. The baby part, the whole thing where Morales popped back up.
Like King Ezekiel and Carol's interactions.
Yeah, their interactions. The fact that Shiva came back, and then you've got Morgan's crisis where he's trying to figure out whether to kill
Jesus trying not to kill everybody.
Yeah, Jesus, and then that whole little deal where him and Tara were bickering back and forth, and they found the guy who had actually pissed himself and was hiding in a closet, and Jesus is like, no, we can't kill this guy. Well, then the guy turns around, takes Jesus' gun from him, and holds him, and was like, hey, I pissed myself on purpose. You know how hard that is?
Yeah, we're not going to repeat the rest of that.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny, though.
But yeah, that was... There's a lot of morality questions, and really that's been like a central focus of Walking Dead since day one.
Yeah.
To begin with, it was, holy crap, can we kill these walkers because there might be some part of our loved ones still in there. And now it's like everybody's pretty well accepted that, hey, the walkers are dead, they're never coming back, kill them all. And now we're running into all these different morality deals where, like, you've got Negan, who in his own special way is maintaining order, but with an iron fist. And then you've got Rick, who is more of a democracy rule. And then you've got all these other people. Now the question of whether to kill or not to kill. And, it's just crazy how it's been rolling. And I'm really interested to see where the rest of this season goes. At least the first half of this season, because things are going to get worse for them before they get better. And another spoiler alert for the comics and possible plot point moving forward. There comes a time where Rick and them pretty much have a leg up on Negan and his crew. And Negan and his group decide to use like bows and arrows and like darts and knives and stuff. And they coat them with walker blood to where if you get hit with it, you're screwed at that point.
Wow.
And, wow, the cats are over there, like, about to start fighting.
Jubilee wants to cuddle. Logan's not about it. You believe that?
I just about want to, like, aim the camera over there.
God, they're running the stair down.
That's what happens on the Spoiling Dead, is we have cat instances.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's been some in, like, past reviews, especially when I used to do reviews at night, where, like, there'd be, like, some hellacious...
Oh, remember the closet?
Yeah, the closet thing where the closet door fell in. That was a little weird.
Yeah.
But, anyway. I mean, really, that's just talking about, what's going forward in the comic, what to expect, or the show, what to expect as a result of the comics. And it was funny because we spent the whole weekend watching Stranger Things. And the lady who plays Eleven's kind of sort of sister, number 8, I was talking about how she would do excellent. Like, I've already made the casting call. She's going to play Princess in the, like, 3 or 4 seasons from now, whenever she appears in the Walking Dead show. Because I actually showed you, the picture of her, and she would fit. Like, wouldn't even have to make her up or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, if anybody's wondering, Princess is this really, like, flamboyant individual who, I want to say she's, like, borderline mental, but, like, she doesn't take anything seriously. She's been living by herself for, like, a couple of years, and she's just so happy to meet other people, and she wears these, like, bright pink coats, and has her hair all puffed out and done up, and she wears sunglasses, and she's, like, just so over the top, like, goofy, and doesn't know when to shut up. She's all the time joking around and stuff, and she's only been around for a couple of issues now, but she's become very popular. So if you like have the opportunity, Google Princess from The Walking Dead, and then Google number 8 from Stranger Things season 2. You'll see. Like, I'm already doing the casting call. She's gonna have to play the character. I don't know if she can do the happy, joking, flamboyant type, but
I'm sure she could pull it off.
probably so, because she didn't really seem like it in the show, but she could pull off the look anyway. All right, well,
What do you rate this episode?
eight and a half.
You love giving, like, half a point, don't you?
Yes.
I mean, I'd say an 8.
Here's the thing, like, the episode, for the most part, probably would have been about a 6 or a 7 for me, but the ending really saved it. The return of Morales, I've been wondering about that in the back of my head for, like, years now.
Yeah, you wonder.
And I may have even brought it up during a past review. The baby thing, really kind of, like, got me thinking. It really made, like, a whole train of thought start running through my head about what do they do with a baby that they find in a nursery in the middle of a battle. What do you do at that point?
I mean, what do you do?
I mean, what...
My suggestion was to take it with you, but...
Yeah, they'll end up taking it with them. I mean, you would... A place like Alexandria or something would just about have to... You'd have to establish maybe like a nursery or something.
Yes, for lost babies. That's true, though. Little orphan. Start a little orphanage.
Walker bait.
Don't be like that.
Hey, they're not above killing kids off.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Remember what happened to, what was his name, Sam?
Yes.
The goofy little kid that I couldn't stand and almost got everybody killed, but then he got torn apart by walkers while they were trying to escape the Alexandria herd. Yeah. But anyway.
Where's DeVasso so he can mention the tear gas at this point?
Oh, God, no.
I did give it an 8. It was really action-packed. And there were some, good points, but it could have used some more good points. I don't know.
According to this article from uprocks.com, Recall, however, that Morales and Rick were once friends. Morales is introduced in the series' second episode, Guts, where Rick is trapped inside of a tank in downtown Atlanta. A group led by Glenn, Andrea, T-Dog, and Morales rescues Rick. And Rick quickly repays the favor by saving the rest of them from Merle. Yeah. So, holy crap.
Yes.
It was, dang, that episode, Guts, the same person that had done direction on Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad directed that episode.
Cool.
And, yeah, they called them geeks instead of walkers.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting, because if you notice, the walkers were more intelligent back then. They would attempt to climb a ladder back then. And there was even one where the walkers couldn't get into that glass storefront. They were all banging on the storefront. And one of the walkers picked up a brick and started hitting the glass.
Yeah.
They don't do stuff like that anymore.
They have dumbed down the walkers.
Mm-hmm. Forgot about that.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, what'd you give it again?
8.
I was at 8.5, so
Yeah, I was 8.
pretty
It wasn't
close.
terrible, but it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, it is getting kind of late. We both have to get up in the morning, so we're going to go ahead and cut this one short. We will be back on tomorrow night. Probably be doing a Skyrim stream.
Yes.
And then beginning Tuesday, we're going to kind of branch out into different things. Might play an Xbox 360 game, maybe some PlayStation, something like that. We've got some ideas floating around. We got some new games, which we're probably going to do a new video about.
Tuesday's Halloween, we should probably do Supernatural. Just don't throw that out there.
Oh, we're not going to do like a video game?
I said Tuesday. So tomorrow you can do a video game. I'm just saying, it's whatever you want to do.
Yeah, that actually sounds like
I think that's the thing, though.
Pretty good idea. We're not going to commit just yet, but we are going to come up with something good Halloween thing for Tuesday night.
Yeah.
If you're around, you're going to be taking Joseph trick-or-treating.
I'm doing that, like, before, right after dinner.
Okay.
Are you not going?
I don't know.
I thought you were. I mean, I don't care either way.
Anyway.
Anyway.
All right. Well, anyway, thanks for watching this The Spoiling Dead number 101. Remember to subscribe to our channel. If you do, go down to the video description and click on that Google link for our November 2017 Loot Crate drawing. It takes literally 2 minutes to do everything needed to enter to win that. And we have got quite a few people who have entered so far. Also, we will be back tomorrow night with Skyrim. We're going to be playing different games. We're going to be reviewing Supernatural. Doing a lot of different stuff over the next few weeks. And so we're trying to make Supernatural like a regular thing. Maybe not every night, but, you know, once, maybe twice a week. We're going to get through this series where we've only done one out of probably, 300 episodes or more.
God, I know.
But anyway, that's what we're looking at. We are going to do a video pretty soon about what to expect over the next few weeks. And because we typically do one of those towards the beginning of each month. So anyway, thanks for watching. This has been The Spoiling Dead number 101, reviewing the second episode of Season 8 that just aired of The Walking Dead called The Damned. And that's pretty much it for tonight. I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amber.
And we are Untitled Nerd Network, brought to you by Infinity Flux out of Hickson, Tennessee. Everybody have a good night. Thank you for watching.